How do the Romans order 5 beers? Well, they just go like this. What's going on, YouTube? It's Tuesday, which means we have the weekly vendor refresh. We're inside the Infinite Archive, inside of Apocrypha, to go over our first of 3 weekly vendor flips. Now, the reason you guys might want to talk about these guys is, one, take some coins off the table, and we're inside the Infinite Archive first. And the reason, again, that you might want to look at these bad boys is start with some leads. You get yourself some really annoying mythics and some other items that are normally hard to get. This first one is Buoyant Steel. Now, this one comes from the Thracian Strangler's armor set, and it normally drops from fishing saltwater instead of Stros Mackay. Now, I would be lying if I said that this was an essential lead. Thracian Stranglers are a bit of a weird mythic. It's kind of like, yes, you can deal Ugu's amounts of damage, but you're really not going to use them for most types of content. So they're in like this weird gray area when you try to rate them of being best in slot for some really niche content that like 99.99% of you are never going to do. And this lead comes from a really annoying spot, which is from fishing, but fishing is always profitable. I would just encourage you, if you're doing this really niche content and you want to get the Thracian Stranglers, which again, their whole kind of shtick is that as you kill things, you start to deal even more damage, but you are a bit weaker as well. So it's a really niche mythic, but a really fun one. I definitely probably would skip this lead and just go farm it yourself. Next up is from Saint and Seducer. Now this one is pretty much along those same lines, where it's from a good mythic. This one actually is significantly better in my opinion. Saint and Seducer is one of the best in slot PvP mythics, and to get this portion of it, all you need to do is kill bosses inside of the Vile Manse, which is a public dungeon. And it's actually a pretty decent one, too, to actually farm gold. So, yes, the Saint and Seducer mythic is a PvP mythic. And sometimes I tell PvPers, like, yeah, you're probably more inclined to splurge on your currency to skip doing any PvE farming. But this one is relatively straightforward. And basically, if you've never seen this mythic before, this is what it does. It basically is like a lottery machine for random major buffs and debuffs. And it's exceptionally good for PvP. But this lead is probably not one that you're going to want to spend your archival fortunes on. If this was Telvar, maybe, just because that Vile Manse is farmed pretty significantly, especially on console. So sometimes it can be a bit competitive, but this is an easy one that you can go get normally. Next up, we have the Swarm Mother Mask. Now, this is bound, and it makes you look like this. It's kind of spidery, but also like got a cool little helmet girdle over it. 15,000 archival fortunes. It's bound, which is important, but you are skipping having to purchase it for a couple 100,000 gold. You can see there are some pretty cheap listings of this one, and that's because farming this mask when available, again, you can only farm it when it's available, is relatively straightforward. So not something that a lot of people are going to stress about, but a lot of people do like to purchase these. And it also kind of goes along with these as well, too. So we have some praxises. It's important to note that we have an upcoming furnishing, well, housing event. And these furnishings might see a lot of value because of that. The problem is that these, I mean, like, it's literally just a chest with antlers on it. This is like something that you would find inside a TJ Maxx Marshalls, and it would be marked down 75%, and nobody's going to buy it. Now, I'm a sucker for the big tables, but even then, you're probably going to see people flood the market with these bad boys. You can't sell the recipe, but you can't sell the made product. So if you wanted any of these for any reason, just buy them. East March treasure maps, easy skip. What isn't an easy skip is jewelry. Jewelry is actually really nice because normally, for example, let's say you're rolling for heavy armor, right? And you get DPS traits. Well, you don't really want to mix and match those together, but if you get a DPS ring, well, if you ever build a DPS companion in the future, guess what? You now have a ring that's doing it. It's the same with why weapons can be a gamble. Let's say you get a tank stat on a healing staff. It can be really annoying to mix and match both the actual piece that you're rolling for and the trait that you want, which is why jewelry is great because it's rings and necklaces. You're not going to get random weapons you're not going to need. You're not going to be rolling for light, medium, or heavy and then getting other traits that are better with, the opposite of what armor you're rolling for. That's why I love jewelry. It's a great gamble and definitely one that you could consider if you'd like to. Next up is a deck fragment from a public dungeon. If any of you buy this, you're getting slapped with a wet pool noodle. Next up is Mouth Vabdru's Journal. Now, I don't know what's going on in this book. Maybe for 1,000 archival fortunes, it's worth it. I, however, I'm going to do something that's impressive here. This is the Journal of Emperor Leovic. Now, a lot of you guys are like, oh my god, Jake, you just pronounced that correctly. You're welcome. Please like the video because I knew how to say Leovic correctly. I saw it in an intro cinematic one time, and it's stuck with me. Then we have Brutality, Sorcery, Uncertainty, Pull, and War Mage's Defense. Pull is probably one that maybe if you're trying to get into the support role, you don't have already for whatever reason, you might need it, but I generally say Archival Fortunes not worth spending and buying your scripts. Archival Fortunes are too much of a premium currency, and if you have a lot of Archival Fortunes, you're probably a good cherub who does their daily quests and get their scripts naturally in the mail. So why do you need to worry about getting these? Yes, some of these are decent, like Pull, War Mage's Defense, but you ain't got to worry about that. Cartographer's Boots, same concept. You can buy them on the ESO open market. They're relatively cheap. And the Malographic Ichor, also pronounced correctly. We are on a roll here. Same cut as well, too. Let's not mess this up. Is also relatively straightforward. Comes from the Infinite Archive. Yes, you can purchase it. Yes, it gives you a mount. But you also, if you're farming the Infinite Archive, you probably already have a bunch of these fragments anyway, which maybe encourages you to get more, but that is up to you. Next up, we're inside the Scholarium, inside of Ivea. Now, come July, this will be a free-to-play area. For those of you who don't know, scribing will become a base game feature. And what's nice about this vendor is all of the scripts here are all rotational. So we start with Courage. Do you need a little bit of Courage for some gold? Probably not. Realistically, Courage is fine. Taunt, though, I mean, it's just infinitely better. And I don't like to just tell people to buy scripts just to buy them. But if you do get a duplicate, you can sell it back for 1,000 gold. Taunt, though, is probably significantly more likely to be good for you. So I would definitely encourage you to buy this on any characters that you might be tanking with. Class Mastery is static, and Fencer's Parry is fine for the price point. So I think if you've got any sort of, characters you're looking at support-ish with, Courage and Taunt, definitely a decent investment to consider. Next up, we're inside the Imperial City. If you feel like I'm going too fast in this video, you can always look in the description below and use our website to get additional information about these vendors. But we try to keep this one focused on what's good this week. For example, Lecky, reduce your damage done with area of effects attacks by 5%, but also grant major evasion at all times, reducing your damage taken from area of effects by 20%. Yeah, this is just not that good. I don't know where you would use a set like this. Major evasion you can get from other places and is generally not considered that good, so I'm just gonna give this set a 4. It's just reducing your area of effect attacks by 5%. And I don't think that's very helpful. Hot take. Next up, we have the Black Rose set. Increase the magicka and stamina restored by the Constitution passive by 60%. Also, a set that makes me go, okay. But, importantly, it does also have a 5-piece of 176 weapon and spell damage, and a 2, 3, and 4 of health, stamina, magicka. So it's not offensively silly, but it's also just not that good. So I would give this, like, a 7 out of 10. I think it's 6.8. It's like above average, but it's not good. It's like in that it's almost good. Like you could try to build a good set, but I think you would struggle with it. Next up, we have Coral Plating. Now, Coral Plating, also from the Thracian Stranglers, comes from fishing in Artam. Now, you might think to yourself, Jake, why did you somewhat discourage me from fishing in Stros Makai, but you're probably going to encourage me to fish in Artam? Fishing in Artam, very profitable. The fishing holes are very close together. It's overall a much better experience than Stros Makai. Granted, I didn't really encourage you to buy the lead previously anyway, but if you did want to farm the Thracian Stranglers, fishing inside of Artam is a pretty decently profitable experience, so I can encourage it. Next up, there's an exceptionally happy man in the comment sections below, because this was available a few weeks ago. It's the Sturdy Silver Prongs. I believe it was available for Infinite Archive currency. However, this is for Death Dealer's Feet. Now, Death Dealer's Feet is an absolutely essential mythic when it comes to max stat builds. Hold on that thought for a moment. But if you wanted to get this lead, you have to do the Dragon Star Arena last chest, which at minimum, I think if you speed ran it with people with extra thumbs, 3 thumbs each, you probably are doing it maybe, 30, 35 minutes. And that's pretty generous. Now, you don't have to do it on Veteran. You can do it on Normal, but there's so much downtime in between rounds that it just takes so long to kind of step through all the different things going on. So, all of that to say, this is a very annoying lead to get because you could go through all those steps. It's probably on average going to take you 40-45 minutes, and you might not get it. And if 40-45 minutes, let's say it takes you 5 runs to get it, that's what, 4 hours-ish in runtime? That's a long investment. And if you're my friend David, it took you a lot longer than that to get it. So, yes, you could get it on your first run, or you get it on your 10th or 20th, and they're a pretty significant time crunch to do so. However, why do you want this mythic? Well, this mythic is just the staple of max stat builds. More so notorious with PvP content, but I would say, too, that you could definitely build a max stat build for overland content. Because basically, as you're in combat, your resources increase. And with subclassing coming out, wardens and sorcerers are probably going to absolutely love this mythic even more than they already do. It's going to be fairly essential to run this mythic, in my opinion, on those classes. So this is definitely a fantastic one to purchase, and it's with Telvar. So if you're a PvPer, you probably are more likely to have Telvar, making this a fantastic investment. What's not a fantastic investment? Somerset treasure maps, as well as the rings of the set that we talked about above. Next up is Brittle. Brittle's in a weird spot because subclassing, you can now get Brittle from the Warden. So do you need Brittle from scribing? Maybe not. And for those of you who are curious, scripting basically allows you to just put, basically, as you can see here, Brittle on different types of abilities. Now, thing is that usually that used to be more of like a Warden thing, but now with subclassing coming out, everybody's going to be able to have access to it. So I don't know what the value of Brittle is going to be going forward, but overall, it is still a pretty good script to have. Expedition is also fine, but you can get speed ups from all sorts of places these days. Multi-target, same kind of spot. I don't know why. It's just multi-target just doesn't have a lot of good ways to build it. And then Assassin's Misery, same kind of concept. Not a huge way to build it. And even if you did, it's a big Telvar investment unless you already have it unlocked on another character. Next up is the Fragment of the Exarch. Now, this is something that's relatively straightforward. It's just Black Reach, a world boss. Now, there are some other ones that are more annoying. So if you wanted to get this, which will make your silver bolts not silver anymore. I don't know if that makes them weaker or not. Joking. It doesn't make them weaker, I pinky promise. You'll have to actually do Castle Thorn. You don't have to do it on Veteran, and it is a guaranteed drop. Fragments are guaranteed drops. Very important to note. So it's not like you have to farm, Castle Thorn over and over and over again, which would be very painful. You don't have to do that. Spindle Clutch 2 is the second hardest one. So if you wanted to get it, sure, go for it, but don't spend your Telvar on this, even though it's only 5,000. Wait till something that drops from a trial or really annoying dungeon pops up that either nobody's farming or just has really annoying mechanics, even on normal difficulty. Then you go and purchase, one of these bad boys. So overall, this week is definitely interesting when it comes to the items. The Death Dealer's Feat lead, I would say if you ever want to PvP on a Sorcerer or a Warden, buy this lead. You will thank me later. Because you'll hear your friends say, it took me 10 hours to get this lead, and you just bought it for some Telvar. You will absolutely thank me. Everything else under that, not as essential. Yes, taunting is good. It's a great script to get. Being able to taunt, different skills is just obviously very helpful, especially for, support characters. But most of the other items are just kind of, So let me know if any of these items interested you this week. And as always, we record these on my lunch break. So thank you guys so much again for watching. As always, we're doing our 3 giveaway drawings. All you need to do to enter is leave a comments below / like on the video. And you can leave as many comments and as many likes on the video throughout the month as you'd like. Second thing is just make sure you're subscribed and do our second drawing. Just be subscribed. We're on the road to 31,000 subscribers. I pronounced so many words correctly today. So help me out. And the third thing is look for hidden word be flashed upon the screen. If you're the first person to find and comment that word, you will win. As always, June, we're going to put a hidden word on every single video throughout the entirety of the month, so stay tuned for that. So thank you guys again, and I'll catch you later. Bye, guys.
You better remember to like and subscribe to Jakeclips. Or you should. I might have to pluck your eyes if you don't. Or, better yet, I'll skip rope with your entrails. Do it now. Subscribe. Ta-ta. Off with you.